Anyway, we will try to get you out here a little bit early today, if for no other reason. We just had a huge meeting of data and all the rest of that sort of stuff a couple weeks ago, so I'm not going to repeat much or any of that this morning. But I do have some things I want to talk about, and the first one is lead router. Who did not attend our lead router class? I see one hand. Okay, I see a few other hands. Okay. We are going to have another class. I wanted to do it this week, but my schedule just didn't permit to do it. So, we will send out an email, so you don't necessarily have to write this down. If you attended the class we did last Thursday, you do not need to attend this one. If you want to attend it, that's fine. So if you want to get a double dose of it, I don't have a problem with it. But we are going to be doing this class on next Wednesday, the 25th. We're going to do it here in the Marina Valley Conference Room. So if we do end up with a huge number of people, we'll just, we'll stand shoulder to shoulder and we'll do it. Just to be clear, because this didn't, even one of our sales managers missed the clarity, what I thought was pretty clear, in the meeting that we had out in Ontario. If you do not attend, if you have not attended this already, and you do not attend this class next week, you will be out of lead router. Okay? You cannot get leads in lead router until you go to this class. If you cannot make this class, but you are still interested in lead router, not that you'll be out forever, but you will need to come to me and we will have to coordinate a different time to sit down and get you into this.
Video's online already too.
Oh, and also, if you, and it's on the YouTube site?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if you, maybe a good opportunity to kind of show you guys our, I bet most of you don't even know we have this. We've got a bunch of videos on our website,
It's on the agent portal too.
which is on the agent portal, which we will get to in a little bit. And where do I go for that?
YouTube/CBPRE.
YouTube.com/CBPRE. We have a YouTube channel. This is it. Hopefully. Okay. Actually quite a bit of, who knows we have a YouTube channel? Okay. All right. Well, not everybody's hand went up. So here is our YouTube channel. Most all of what we have on the YouTube channel is on our website. And having said that, this is maybe a little bit more of a commercial for the company. So this actually, if you were at the meeting 3 weeks, 4 weeks ago, that's John Schumacher. That's the thing that he did. My little piece is in there too. And then the video that Brian was just referring to is, where is it, Brian?
You're seeing some new ones. If you go up on the top to videos,
Okay.
click on the left there,
On the.
or you could search it.
Oh, videos.
Yeah.
Here. Okay.
And there it is. Second one. It's in the middle.
Oh, right here. Okay. Here, and it's called CBPRE, which, by the way, we need to nuke. I've been meaning to tell you that. We got to nuke everything we have branded. It says Pioneer Real Estate all over it. We got a Town and Country and the Realty Center folks, so we kind of need to strip that Pioneer stuff.
We'll talk later.
Having said that, there is the class. So if you have not, and I've thought about this, that says, well, wait a minute, Lance, I can't come next Wednesday. Can I just watch the video and then that gets me the credit I need? And the answer is no. I want to see your face in the chair, and I want to take a look at you, and I want to look at you eyeball to eyeball, and make sure we're cool with that. Having said that, there is the video. It's an hour and 45 minutes, I think, and so far, 5 of you have viewed it. I don't know if those are probably all Brian looking at it 5 times over, making sure it was posted right. But at any rate, there it is, and just getting back to our PowerPoint. Please come. So. And again, it's mandatory. That's all I can tell you. Come to the class. If you want to get leads, come to the class. Yes.
You know what time it's going to be? 9, 1?
It's probably going to be 1 to 3-ish, somewhere in that neighborhood. We did the last one in less than 2 hours, and quite honestly, there was a lot of fluff and stuff in there. So but we'll probably do it somewhere around 2 hours. It should be done. So. Okay, monthly sales awards. I am apologetic. This is hard, At any rate, Shelly's been really good about doing the monthlies. Matter of fact, Leandra had a whole bunch of them. Where am I? This is Leandra, right?
Yeah.
Well, she must have taken them down. Anyway, we're going to defer this month's sales awards. We will do a double month in May. Honestly, I just didn't take the time to pull it up. So if you were expecting to be agent of the month last month, don't worry. We're just going to delay that just another 30 days and we'll get you your stuff. So Who knows Congressman Gary Miller? Okay. I just sent out an email literally 5 minutes ago before this meeting started. We are hosting, when I say we are hosting a meeting with Congressman Miller this Friday at our Redlands office. Okay. I wish we were doing it here because this room would be a lot more conducive to a meeting. Who's been in our Redlands office, by the way? Okay. Who does not have anything on their calendar Friday between, say, noon and 2 o'clock? Okay, if you raised your hand, I'm begging you to come to the Redlands office on Friday. It starts at 12:30. It'll be over by 1. But I would really, really like us to, number one, show support for Congressman Miller. And number two, this is a really nice opportunity for us to showcase the Redlands office. This is not a Coldwell Banker Pioneer Town and Country Realty Center event. This is going to be open to everybody. Matter of fact, this email that you're looking at is an IVAR email, and they sent it out to our 3,500 members. That office isn't real big, and it is bullpen style, but if you haven't been there, we've got glass partitions that are like head high. So it's not the most conducive office to have that type of a meeting. Having said that, I want that room to be crammed. I mean, I would love it to be shoulder to shoulder, and I'd love it if we had 150 of our agents there, in addition to the other, God knows how many people are going to show up. So if you're not that familiar with Congressman Miller, number one, he is a Republican, so if that's not aligned with your politics, I apologize. He is running for re-election, which is one of the reasons he's doing this, but he also he was the first guy that I'm aware of to actually do anything politically on the bulk sale and rental program. Okay? Did anybody see the letter? I think, did we pass that letter out at the last meeting, or did we talk about? Okay. Well, Congressman Miller, or his staff, I'm assuming, is the one who penned the letter that came out immediately after the bulk sale stuff kind of became public about 5-6 weeks ago. And it was, if you read the letter, to be honest with you, if you read the letter, I felt like I wrote it, because it was literally, this is bad for our industry, we have an inventory problem, yada, 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 yada. So, at any rate, he is certainly supportive of our efforts to oppose the bulk sale and the rental initiative program. So if his politics don't completely align up with yours, what Shelley said. Shelley said they should.
Yeah, I heard that.
But at least on this particular issue, it certainly aligns up with our interests in the real estate business, and we need to support it. And quite honestly, for selfish reasons, he's going to be speaking in our office. And he is a city congressman, by the way. They redrew and I'm embarrassed about this. Who knows that they redrew the lines? I'm not that familiar with it. And his district has been redrawn. His district basically runs from Redlands to Rancho. Okay? Which apparently is concerning him, because he'll literally show up at your kid's soccer game if you ask him. I mean, he's out politicking, hardcore. So anyway, I would love for all of us to come. Who thinks they can make it Friday? Okay, half a dozen of you or so. Okay, if you can open up your schedule, please come. I would really, really appreciate it, and it'd be a good thing for us all the way around. Okay, our training calendar. I want to show you our training calendar because I don't think many of you have been there in a while. I'm just going to run to our website real quick. And the main reason, if you have been there, I want to show it to you again because we've actually tried to pump it up a little bit and make it a little bit more workable. You got to go to our website. I'm going to try to, who loves the paper printed out training calendar that Shelley's been doing for the last couple of years? Okay. I see a few hands. If you absolutely positively have to have it printed, we're trying to be eco-friendly here, but if you have to have it printed, we certainly can print it. That's not the end of the world. Oops. But the most up-to-date training, the problem with printing it is if we start adding stuff on the fly, Shelley's been putting that calendar out at the first of the month. If we throw something on there in the middle of the month, reprinting it, getting out there, do you have the most current copy, do you have an old copy? It just creates a few challenges with that. But this is our website. Everybody this is familiar to everybody, right? Okay, right side, lower corner, portal, agents. If you click on that, everybody knows the password to get in, right? CBPRE agent. If you notice, it didn't ask me for a password because once you've logged in on the same machine, it appears as though it keeps that in cache or something and you don't have to go in and get it. However, if you go there and you now go to our new and improved event calendar, let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger. A little bit bigger. Okay. We've got a little bit more stuff on here than we did before. And I apologize. Brian says we can't fix this, but this is not a traditional calendar where it goes Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It drives me crazy. It starts off Monday on the left, which just... Have you ever seen a calendar like that before?
Yes, it makes you nuts.
You have?
Yep.
Who does that? Real estate people do this? This is the stupidest calendar I've ever seen in my life. I mean, seriously, I look at this, and to me, this is Sunday. I don't, anyway. So anyway, this is our training calendar. Just train your eye to know that Monday is on the far left, and so on and so forth. But what I've done is all of our sales meetings, of course, are posted, and again, we screwed up. We are going to have a regular sales meeting on the regular day. We're going to continue to do the second Wednesday of every month, hopefully without too many exceptions. We've also got posted the other office sales meetings. So if by chance you're in the Claremont area and you're interested in seeing what's going on over there, they meet every Tuesday at 10 o'clock. Okay? They do some caravans. We're going to put their sort of stuff on there. Everything in red is the actual training. Okay? Right now we're doing training today. I'm skipping ahead of my agenda a little bit. But today is the 18th, right? Okay. We're doing training today after this meeting is over. I mentioned this in the meeting we had a couple weeks ago, that we're going to be doing property management training. Okay, so for those of you that are interested in our property management services and how to sell those services, we're going to take a 5-minute break after we're done today. Whether there's 5 of you or 10 of you, we'll jump into the conference room, or 1 of you, we'll jump into the conference room, we'll go over our property management services. All of Norm's contract classes are here. We have a couple of holes. I'll use Norm as an example. Who's attended one of Norm's classes? You like him?
Yeah.
He's great. I mean, I frankly thought I was good at it until I sat down and saw him, and I got a long way to go to match up with him. But when we have a little problem, actually, it looks like they might have fixed it. They're doing, he doesn't just train here. He trains in Claremont, he trains in Covina, he trains just some stuff in Redlands. He's actually on the Citrus Valley Association of Realtors, education training board. He does training classes there. So if you're, I know somebody, I think it was Chase, who was asking me, hey, because I've told Chase, get some training, get some training. And I'm telling everybody here, get some training, get some training. If you want to go to a Claremont meeting or training class on contracts and you don't mind driving the 30 miles to get there, you guys are all welcome to go to those. And all of his training will be up there. Right now, we're probably only at about 15% of what's there. And we do have it pushed out through the entire year. And we're going to, for example, let's see, I might have just lied. Let's see if we've got anything in May. Okay, so yeah, so we do got some stuff in May. So our May calendar is already up for contracts, and he's doing some more contracts. Now he's doing long contracts. We're going to modify this a little bit. This is like a series. What does he have, like 17 courses or something like that? We'll be more specific, and we'll put down this one's on the RPA, this one's on the transfer disclosure. And as a matter of fact, I think if you click on it, maybe we need to make the description a little bit cleaner up front. There'll be we'll do a better description up here as to exactly what the class is. Because otherwise they all say law and contracts, I've seen that one of them. But at any rate, please take a look. Who's gone to our training calendar at all for this sort of stuff? All right, good. Good. I'd like it to be 100%, but I'll take that. Okay, so, what do we got here? What did I put this on here for? I don't remember. Okay, market data. I got 3 slides, so for those of you that are ready to just choke because you think I'm going to do a whole bunch of market data stuff, I only have 3. This is today's newspaper, Riverside Press Center. Who subscribes to this paper? No? Okay. Anybody get it online? Online? Okay. All right, well, this is today's. I get the Riverside edition, but the business section is the exact same in all of the jurisdictions. This says, if you can't read it, home sales remain sluggish. The inland area is not seeing bump in sales that typically comes in the early months of the year. Blah, 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 blah. Is that true?
No.
Not true?
3-month-old data.
Well, basically, exactly. And Shelley just hit it. The information that they're looking at is not only old, when they say home sales, are they talking pending sales, or are they talking closed sales? They're talking closed, okay? And what they're basically referring to is relatively old, and by the way, they use quick data, so it's not necessarily old. Matter of fact, if you go into the chart, it's comparing March of 2011 to March of 2012, and the numbers they're specifically talking about are Riverside County, okay? So it's, in theory, it's data that's 3 weeks old or 18 days old, okay? And it's Riverside County, but let me show you, and again, I've only got 3 of these, so don't freak out. Where's my pointer at? Have a pointer here? Oops. I thought I had a pointer here somewhere. Oh, I do. Okay. All right. So here is, oops, let me blow this up a little bit. This is CRMLS, by the way. So this is the entire MLS. We still have our problem with activity as far as, inventory that's available. Still sliding a little bit. Pendings, solds. Okay. Now the data that the paper's talking about today is March of 2012 compared to March of 2011. So basically, which is a good way to do it, by the way. It's fairly an acceptable way to say it's not so important to compare 1 month over the last month, although I do that all the time. But it's like what did March of 2012 do compared to 2011 compared to March of 2010? So at any rate, if you look at the blue bar is pending sales, right? Pending sales, 11,279 units went in escrow. Did we have a good March? Good March. Yeah. That's a good March. Okay. Now that number's going to adjust a little bit. I know the data, someone goes in and it's not 100% accurate, somebody changes something. But that's huge as far as pending transactions, new open escrows. Okay. And actually, if you look at solds, and by the way, the variance, when it says sluggish, let me define sluggish. The drop off of Riverside County in sales was 2.3%. Okay? But if you look at sales for CRMLS, and that's this column here, according to CRMLS, we closed 7,908 transactions in February. And if you go back to February of 2011, we closed, am I in the right spot? Oh, March, I'm sorry. March, we closed 7666, so about 250 properties less. Oh, actually more. So if you just look at CRMLS data, I don't know what the percentages difference is, but it's probably actually, instead of about a 2% less, actually I think it's probably close to about a 2% positive, all right? So bottom line is, we did close more transactions, and then if you look at what's open, I mean, look at that, guys. I mean, that's ridiculous. Over 11,000, yeah.
The under contracts too, I wonder if they're only looking at pending, because, more and more people put them in backup.
Maybe.
Backup's the same thing, right?
Kind of. What you've got to understand with this data, and this is why it changes a little bit. Every one of these columns indicate that there was a property under contract or pending for at least 1 day in the month. Okay? That doesn't necessarily mean this is how many properties went under contract. So if you put one in, if you took a property and you put it pending today, and then tomorrow, oops, I made a mistake. I shouldn't have gone pending, put it back active. That will show up. Oops. That will show up in the pending category. Okay. And if you put, but also if you put a property that's under contract as a pending unit today, and let's suppose that doesn't close. It's pending through the rest of April, through the rest of May, and then doesn't close until June. That will not show up in the May chart. Okay? But now it's not perfect, but you got to remember all of the numbers are the exact same way. So if it's skewed a little bit, you say, well, geez, that doesn't sound kind of good. It sounds like someone made a mistake. They put it pending just for a moment. Well, yeah, but that goes for the entire day. All right? But anyway, we've got, pending sales, that's ridiculous. We had a good March, guys, in closings. And if you didn't feel that, if you didn't personally experience that, I guess I'll just say it again, try to get out there and engage. Come see me if you need some help to kickstart your business plan a little bit. Who had a good March? Okay, take these people to lunch. If your hand didn't go up, take them to lunch. So what are you doing? You know, I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, we've been talking about having to go back for 2 years, we're off the chart. We're off the chart in pendings, which is obviously gonna make a nice May. Should make for a nice April and May closing month. Now, keep in mind, if you go back, and I'm gonna get off this real quick. If you go back to, let's just say last year, these are pending sales in March. Pending sales in March were pretty good, right? Kind of slow, kind of slow, kind of slow. We actually had a good March last year, all right? Darn good March this year. What happened in May and June and July? It actually slowed down a little bit, all right? I think it's possible, just based upon this chart, it's possible, very possible actually, that our pending sales for April and may slow down a little bit. Why? Huh? We don't have inventory. We have less houses to sell, you know? So just as a percentage of what we have available to sell, which is the stream for inventory, which by the way, I've mentioned this to a few of you in the room already, and not to gauge this in the world of REO inventory and assignments, but we are in the second quarter of 2012. April 1st marked the second quarter of 2012. As far as new REO assignments, if I look at the first quarter, January, February, and March, pretty dead. I mean, if I didn't know better, I'd say foreclosure market's over. We're not going to assign any more properties. We got practically nothing. April 1, so we're now 18 days into the month. April 1, second quarter, feels like we're kind of back to a little bit more normalcy as far as new assignments are coming in. Just to put that in context, we've received more new REO assignments in the last 18 days than we did in the prior 60 days. Actually, it's probably almost in the prior 75 days. So whether that's a trend, I don't know, but it does appear as though some of this inventory is starting to break loose, and that's what I'm hearing. You guys hearing that from some other REO offices and agents out there? Yeah, I'm hearing it on the lending side. By the way, we got Duran here from Coldwell Banker Mortgage, and Sharon and Joy from Caliber. And what happened to Ryan? Did Ryan give up? Wow. All right, we locked the door on Ryan. So, I didn't know it was postponed. At any rate, I'm hearing from the mortgage side, I'm hearing from the title side, specifically more so on the title, that openings and new orders are through the roof. Home inspections up.
Yep.
It said just in the last 90 days or 30 days or, yeah.
Heard it on the news too, Lance, that banks and mortgage companies were gonna start
Right.
releasing more and more of
Right.
foreclosures that they had to hold on to because of that lawsuit.
And now the Attorney General, or the judge has finally signed off on the Attorney General's lawsuit in the 49 states and, you know, the robo-signing stuff. Yeah, I mean, what scares me about all of that, to go back a couple slides, is I'm not going back fast enough, but is the political stuff. I'm really curious as to what this guy is gonna have to say about foreclosure inventory and what that's gonna mean for the summer months. I mean, as aggravating as it is, I hate elections. My God, I hate them. Because the trend in our business, nobody wants to do anything during what? An election year. We take care of it after the election. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah.
Did we have that conversation? Were we having the same meeting in April of 2008? We were having a similar meeting, you know, and then, well, we were in an election year. And then all the moratoriums came in, and it was like, oh, well, once we get past the election, we'll be able to clean up the foreclosure mess, and we'll be able to do something. Now, here we are 4 years later, basically looking at another election year right in the face, when I think we're on the, like I said, I think we're literally on the precipice of a pretty decent and strong recovery. So hopefully the politicians won't screw that up for us. But at any rate, for those of you that see this paper, and you say, oh, that's terrible, or if your clients are seeing this and saying, oh, that's terrible, you need to be able to combat that with the reality of at least, I don't know, maybe Eastern Riverside County, they've got a problem, and maybe that pulled our numbers down, I don't know. But if you look at CRMLS, the exact opposite article should have been written. Well, the article that should have been written is, pending home sales explode in March of 2012.
Is that available on our website?
Yes. Yes, well, it's probably not there right now, but I've done a bad job of getting all of these reports. Just to quickly jump back to our website real fast. All of these reports should be and will be, and if you go there and they're not there, then you need to come to me and slap me around because it's my fault that I haven't given them to Brian. If you go to the agent portal on our website, which I just clicked right past. Yeah, bear with me. If you go to the agent portal on our website, and we started to do this, to be honest with you, we kind of fell apart on it a little bit. Right next to the event calendar is market data. Click on the market data, and we're posting these reports on there, okay? We've been promising to do this every month for about 6 months. We've gotten probably 2 of the last 6 months, but we'll get all this data up there as quickly as we can onto our website, so it's available to you. But yeah, I mean, it just slays me that we're looking at, oops, wrong one. That we're looking at a newspaper article, which in effect says things have slowed down. And again, if you want to compare our pending sales to March of last year, who's the mathematician here real quick? There's 3,000 more pending sales in March of 2012 compared to March of 2011. Just my basic math says that I think we got about a 30% increase in sales year over year. And I got to tell you, frankly, that is almost the exact number that we are seeing in our 5 offices. Approximately 30% increase in sales. And then again, if you want to go back even a year farther, it's a 25% increase if you go back 2 years. Okay, so anybody got any questions on that stuff? Okay, the last data slide I have is this. You guys have already seen it 1,000 times, but I think I'm just going to keep throwing this up there until I get the new one. It's time to buy. If you have buyers, sell them a house. Just give them this chart. You've all seen this chart before, right? I've shown it to you a dozen times. If you haven't seen it, you're not paying attention or you're not coming to the meetings. Price equivalency to rent equivalency is there. Time to buy a house. So get your buyers off the fence and go sell them something. Okay, I just wanted to make a quick. By the way, I'm not dying. For those of you who are wondering what's going on in my face, I'm contagious. Come over, give me a hug. I've got the skin doctor that I went in. I had a little spot on my leg. So yeah, that's nothing. And he gets this little liquid nitrogen stuff. And the next thing you know, he's got me stripped naked, and I got little spots all over my body, for God's sake. Yeah, tell me about it. It's not much to see.
I thought it was an off weekend.
At any rate, no. So anyway, well, if you think it's bad today, you see it in a couple days. I'm going to look like a speckled egg of sorts. So, at any rate, I don't see Summer. I will thank you on Summer's behalf. We are capturing a ridiculous amount of escrow business out of our office.
Because she's doing a ridiculously good job.
Yeah. Well, I was sharing the percentages that we were capturing, of what we can actually capture. There's a lot of business that we just don't have any control of, and I understand that. But as a percentage of what is directable in this office, I was sharing the number, frankly, not really realizing what a good number it was. I just did the math real quick, and I'm sharing that with some of our other Coldwell Banker affiliates down in Newport Beach last week. And they're like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You guys are capturing that much? Yeah, they literally were like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know. I guess we've got great escrow officers. So I want to, yeah. Oh, I'm talking about you.
I jumped up when I
You did. So anyway, again, when you consider literally a year ago, for the most part, we had 0 open escrows out of the Moreno Valley office with Town & Country Escrow. And now we've got, I think, 26, 27 open escrows, which again, as a percentage of what we can direct, is pretty darn good. So I want to thank you. I know Summer wants to thank you. It helps her feed all of her babies at home and all that stuff.
I appreciate it.
She does, and I do too. So I want to thank you very much with that. Okay, lastly, and then we'll open it up for some questions. I mentioned earlier, who's interested in doing some property management sales in the office? Okay, I see a couple, 3 hands, good. We're going to, every meeting, after this meeting, we're gonna adjourn, we're gonna go in the conference room. I'll take anywhere from a half hour to an hour, and we'll just go over our property management program. If you are interested in selling our property management service, you need to attend these classes. It's going to be difficult for you to sell the product with any sort of accuracy in what we do without attending that. Having said that, if you're not interested in selling it, and you're not interested in attending these classes, at a minimum, I would love it if you're at least familiar enough with our website to go to the property management section, owner info, and on the owner info page, everything that you need to know about our services for the most part is right there, which may beg the question, well then why are we doing these training classes? Because you can't put everything there. But if you have a client who says, I'm interested in property management, you can send them to this section. This is a 6-minute video of me basically talking about what we do. Okay? There's another 4-minute video of me saying it's better to have a blue pool than a green pool, which seems somewhat.
Oh, come on.
And then all of our paperwork, including the actual contract to sign up for our property management services, is here. It's just a click away. So for those of you that say, I'm willing to support the program, but I don't necessarily want to sell the program, if you would at least pay attention enough to say, okay, this is where the information's at. Everything is there, okay? If you do actually kind of half-heartedly say, hey, it's there, and you have an owner that goes there, and the owner does this all by themselves, and they basically click the buttons and they set them up, I will still pay you. Okay? So if you do send somebody there, and if you want to just full disclosure and say, hey, I'm not really attuned into our property management department, I don't really understand a whole heck of a lot about it, but we do it. If you want to go to our website, you can sign up right there. And if they actually do it themselves and then they mail it in and they talk to Aubrey, I will still pay you the $500. Yeah. Okay. But again, the paperwork ultimately has to get signed and filled out and into our office. Now, for most of you, you're not going to do very well if you're just sending people to the website. So, and I'll tell you what I used to do. Who's out bird dogging? You know, it gets a little tougher right now because if you're out on short sale listings, if you're not out on any other listing that's a non-standard sale, I don't want you to go on a short sale listing only to convert them into a property management rental. That doesn't work for me because they're probably headed towards foreclosure. But frankly, what I used to do, I'd go out all the time on a standard sale. And I'm assuming this is going to happen. People are going to have a little bit of equity. They're going to call you for a listing appointment. You're going to go out on their house, and you're going to say, you know what? It's not bad, but you're basically at a break even. You know, maybe they bought it 3 years ago, and now they want to do something else, and they bought it for $150, and you're going to tell them it's worth $150. They may say, shoot, you know, I'm not ready for that. Or maybe there's a little negative, you know, but they got to move. There's a divorce, there's a job transfer, there's something happening.
You want to sell them another house.
You want to sell them another house. They want to turn it around. They're familiar with the chart that we just showed, which I'm hoping, quite honestly, is going to, I'm hoping it's going to be a boon for our property management business when we go back and we start showing this chart. Okay? This is a good chart to have if you're thinking about buying rental property, right? But at any rate, I don't want to turn this into a 20-minute commercial for property management, but obviously we're doing it. I'd love you guys to support it. Quite happy. Honestly, it helps pay the light bill. So, what do you think of that? 40 minutes. 40 minutes. I didn't think that was possible. Anybody got any questions? Anybody got any thoughts? I hear. Oh. We have a new agent. Where's Quinn at? Stand up. There you are. We have a new agent. How many more do we have? Just Quinn? Quinn joined us, what, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, about
2 or 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, about 3 weeks.
I helped out with the bio a little bit. I know you worked at Prudential for a little while and worked at Remax for a little while, and now you're home.
Right.
Now you're home. So, well, everybody welcome Quinn. Shelly's going to have to keep my back here for a little bit. I'm sure there's probably a couple other things I probably screwed up in this morning, so we'll do a little critique after the meeting. So anyway, welcome. Along those lines, by the way, we've had a kind of a little, seldom spoken of recruiting program in this office. if you guys are, if you can come to me and say, hey, I have delivered to you on a golden platter the following agent from the ABC company, and you are ultimately the reason that that agent came to work here, I will pay you. Basically give you a piece of their company dollar, I think for what are we doing, for a year? Yeah, for the first year they're here. So if you've got a friend at the ABC company and they're thinking about making a change, and I mean, if you want to, and I'm not saying you have to completely package them and hand them to me on a platter, but if you at least are involved in their decision to come here, and it's obvious that their decision to come here, what are we paying? 5%? Yeah, we'll basically pay you 5% of their company dollar for the first year that they're in the company. So for those of you that are financially driven when it comes to that sort of stuff, there's a little bit of cash there for you. Who did not know that? Most of you, because the rest of you didn't raise your hands and you didn't know anything. So you didn't know that. Yeah. See, we have great programs. We're just crappy when it comes to communicating. So, yeah. Okay. Well, now that I said that says, no, wait a minute. I think I should be entitled to 5% of some money. Okay. All right. Come see me. Come see me. All right. Anybody else got anything? Nothing?
I got a question.
Yes.
I'm looking at your lovely website.
Yes.
The REO inventory, active by city.
Yep.
There's a ton of pendings. How often do you update this?
Supposedly that's updated every 15 minutes.
What? This is crazy.
And I'm glad you brought that up, Joy. What Joy's referring to, because I get this all the time, especially from the newer agents or people who haven't looked in a while. Again, if you go to the agent portal and you don't, who has this saved on their desktop where they just click, okay, I'm looking that way because I know Steven and I know Chris and a few other of you guys have these on your desktop. If you go to the agent portal and you click on, let me blow this up a little bit, this is really small, and you go to market data, which is right next to the event calendar, and this is in the same place where all of those sales reports are, the charts and graphs and stuff. The very top is the REO inventory list, which is what Joy's talking about. That is all of the, and by the way, if you're going to be one of our lead router people continuing to moving forward, and so, how many people, where's Anna at? How many people showed up last Thursday?
8.
Okay, we have 38 people that went to last week's training class. We have 160, 170 people on our roster. Lead router leads, let me rephrase that. The number of people eligible to get lead router leads just dropped by about 120, 130 people. If you're one of those 120 people and you still want lead router leads, next Wednesday in the conference room, and frankly, if there's more than 20 people there, I'll be surprised. So for those of you that are going to be in that 30 to 50 or 60 or so agents, you should be happy next Thursday because your competition in lead router just dropped by 2/3. Okay. Having said that, you need to know where this is. So if you click on the REO inventory list, this should look familiar to most. And I'm gonna apologize. I'm not happy with this. We really need to give this thing a facelift. This list was created years ago, and we can put better data on here. I mean, it's just literally just a street and an address and maybe a price. But this is accurate. So if you look at the entire thing, by the way, this includes all of my stuff and Dwayne's, and there are only 92 properties on there. I mean, we had at a point in time, we had, geez, I don't know, we had 400 on there. So we've got 92 properties on the list. Let me just go to Marina Valley because it's a little more near and dear to you. So if it shows pending, if your question is, are the pendings accurate or the actives accurate? Yes, they're accurate. And are we still updating every 15
Every 15.
minutes? Every 15 minutes. Which, so if Anna or Drew make a change right now, and change one from active to pending, and then you pull it up 15 minutes, you're going to get that. Okay? And we try to keep this up to date as much as possible. We make mistakes on occasion, and frankly, one of the biggest things, and I'll just point one out because I'm sure we'll find it, are the PM vacancies. Everybody knows PM is pre-marketing. Okay, that's not property management. I had someone recently say, "Why do you have your property management properties on the list?" So if it says PM vacant, okay, it's in pre-marketing. The house is vacant, and we don't have a price on it. So anything that says anything with the PM you're not going to have a price. So it's coming, okay? Sometimes it takes a little bit longer than others, but oops, I can't do this with my mouse. If it says, let me find one, I have something with some personal property. Okay, these, where you got these dot, dot, dots, we gotta fix that, that's my fault. This is, we have a funky status on there that's not printing. Thoroughbred, for example, is an active listing, but it's tenant occupied. Who's been trying to sell Thoroughbred? Well, yeah, I apologize, it's a tough nut. But I'm looking for one that says, maybe they don't even show up. Like, what's that? Well, yeah, but I'm looking for one, there's another status here that actually says PM personal property. I
think those are left off.
This might be a good one as well. So if you kind of get this PM dash and it doesn't say vacant, this one is one of those cases where there's something funky going on, BK on file, do not trash out, approved by your attorney, or no trash out. So this one's got personal property. So, but anyway, the short answer to the question was, actually there wasn't a question. That's what happens. That's where you find the list. Yes. Everything. Everything that we have from a REO, well, no, that doesn't include everything. Everything that I have and everything that Dwayne has is on this list. If there is, I mean, there's a few of you in the office that are doing some REO stuff. I know Diane has some, and frankly, we probably wouldn't be difficult for us to add Diane's. I know Don Miller has a few. You know, Diane, or Diana James has got a few. Anybody, Leander's got a few. Frankly, we should probably sit down and talk to those folks and get all of that stuff on there. I'm sure they wouldn't mind putting their inventory on there, God forbid we sell it. But this is basically Fannie and the Freddie and the stuff that Dwayne and I are doing. Okay?
If you want to hold an open house on any of these, who do we let know?
Basically, send me an email. Like Chase, for example, you sent me 2 emails in the last 2 weeks about holding open houses. So far, we haven't shut you down on anything. The only thing we ask is that you ask. And quite honestly, in the last month, the only person that's asked has been Chase, and you haven't been shut down. But what are you holding open this weekend? One of Dwayne's, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, whatever property it is, the only reason I want you to ask is I don't want 2 of you showing up at the same time with open house signs at the same house. Which right now is like, probably slim chance. But just let us know. Generally speaking, you can probably hold open anything you want. If you don't get your first pick, I'll give you $100 if you don't get your second pick, because there's not that many open houses being done.
And I can do listing flyers if you guys need them.
What's that?
I can do the listing flyers with your logo and everything on it.
Okay.
It takes a minute to do it. So.
Okay, there you go. Listing flyers and all the rest of that good stuff, if that's what you're looking for. In Durana with Coldwell Banker Mortgage, and Sharon and Joy with Caliber, I've committed to be in this office indefinitely. So, matter of fact, I think Durana's, she's kind of commandeered it. Oh, and there we go, right next to her, we got the Caliber girls sitting in there. So you're gonna see them sitting in this office on a regular basis. Utilize them. All their information, again, I won't pull the website up again, but all of their information and their contact stuff is on our website. You click the button, and it's gonna take you directly to them. They're gonna be available to you 24/7, 365.
Don't forget about Chris.
Someone will be available to you 24/7, 365. Utilize them, okay? So, okay, I don't see any more hands going up, and we almost ended early, but now I think we're on time, so. Okay, in closing, our office is gonna run a car in the Baja 1000 this year. So, Drew's over there just shaking his head. I am on record, and I am committed to running that race in November. So for anybody who's interested in sponsoring, that was a joke. Anyway, if anybody has any interest in that, let me know, even if we can just sit back and talk about it. And
Who's driving it?
I'm driving it, and my team.
Who gets the office when you die?
Who
goes to insider checks?
Well, let me rephrase. When I say I'm racing in the Baja 1000 this year, I am going to enter and finish the Baja 1000 this year. I don't know about the racing part. We'll see what happens. So anyway, I'm going on record and in public because I have some family members that are convinced that I've completely lost my mind and I'm not going to do this anymore. And all I'm doing is just talking about it. So I think the more people like
doing is talking about it, you haven't done anything.
the racism. At any rate,
This is going on the front page of the website
I'm
today.
on record. This is similar to kind of like make your goals public and write them down and put them on the mirror and tell people about them. You just get that much more motivated to do it because I do not want to come in here the day after the race and say, hey, how'd it go this weekend? So at any rate, only reason I mention it here is because it'll have a bunch of cool Coldwell Banker branding all over it. And then when we do win, and then we're in the newspaper, and then we're all over the place, it's going to be a big deal. So,
Take that, Press Enterprise.
Bucket list,
It- yeah, okay.
Can we see the logo when it's on fire?
I want to thank you for all your support. Who's with me on this? All right.
I'll be there with the camera.
That's
Oh
right.
my God.
You got the helmet
Yes.
cam all set up?
One more question. It's just with the office manager and who do we go to for stuff
Oh,
like that? It's still you.
I
Or?
wanted to put a slide together with that. Thank you. My God. Okay. I am your office manager. And this is going to be a little repetitive, I think, for... Oh, wow. This is going to be a little repetitive, I think. I'm just going to turn this thing off because it's 20 degrees hotter standing in front of that. I think if I do that, I think if I do that. Okay, good. This is the deal. Who's been doing this business for more than 20 years? Who have seen office managers come and go in offices? Traditionally, what happens when there's a change in an office manager, and I'll leave offices out, but I've seen this so many times it's not even funny. You have a great sales manager that decides to make a change. And in this case, we're very fortunate because the change is just shifting within the company and she's staying here. And I can't tell you how happy that makes me that her and Jim are here and part of the family. It's a little different vibe when an office manager says, hey, I'm out. Oh, and by the way, I'm moving across the street. Okay? So thank God we don't have that vibe. Having said that, what I have seen so many times is in a rush to find a replacement office manager, the owner of the company hires Sally. And quite honestly, the agents in the office immediately realize that Sally is not a suitable replacement for who they had before. And then, to be honest with you, which is almost worse, all of the other offices in the surrounding area start laughing, internally and externally. You're not going to believe we just replaced Shelley. Okay? And it's a joke. And then 3 months later, they replace them with somebody else, and then maybe if they're lucky, 6 months or a year later, they actually find a manager who is of even close to a caliber of what they replaced. Having said that, I'm not going to make that mistake. I'm fortunate enough, and that I still, believe it or not, I actually like managing an office, and I know how to do it, and I think I can answer a question or two appropriately. So for the time being, I'm your sales manager or your office manager. That is not the long-term plan. The long-term plan is for me to find the. And by the way, that's what I found interesting, to be honest with you. There's not one person in this office that approached me and said, would you consider me as the manager? I really found that interesting. Having said that, I have a couple of names on a short list, of which neither of them are available. They're just not available to, do our thing right now. So if you happen to know somebody who's interested in that position, or if you yourself are interested in that position, I'll certainly talk to you. But I'm not going to make a snap decision. I'm not going to put somebody in that's going to be, in my mind, temporary. So now, to the larger question is, well, what do we do in the meantime? To be honest with you guys, I've been in the office quite a bit. And what I've discovered is most of you are not in the office very much. Okay? Now, there are a few of you that are here all the time and what have you, and I get that. But when you look at the larger base of who we have in the office, most of you aren't in the office all that much. So, and not that it matters, but all I can tell you is I'm available to you. And I'll continue to use Chase as my example because he's, at the moment, the one who reaches out to me the most. And I don't say that to you to have you minimize that. I say that just the opposite. Have you ever not been able to get a hold of me? For those of you who didn't see that, that was enough. Call me, text me, send me an email. If you have a really, really important issue, you need something signed immediately, or you've got an escrow that's blowing up, I frankly, and I'm not in the office, if I am in the office, you know, find me, okay? If the door's closed, open it. If it says don't disturb me, disturb me. If you've got a problem, I mean, everybody else does. So if you've got something, come see me. I'm certain I can help you with it. If I'm not in the office, call me. If I don't pick up, text me. You know, quite honestly, if you've got a real problem and you need it fixed right away, and you don't see me and you call me and you get my voicemail, you send me a text and you say, I have a real problem, I need to talk to you. And if you don't get a call back from me in 5 minutes, then I failed.
Then he's racing.
So, what's that?
Then he's racing. They're in Baja.
Hey, they sell service down there, Respond, they got headsets for that, a big computer monitor, I'm telling you.
Oh, right.
So, at any rate, so I am here to help you. And you will see a lot more of me in the office. I know this last week's been challenging because I had some stuff at Newport Beach with Coldwell Banker, but frankly, I've spent more time in the office in the last, 3 weeks than I probably have in the prior 3 months combined. Now, as far as paperwork and sales reports are concerned, basically, Anna's kind of our go-to person when it comes to that. You certainly can come in and throw it on my desk. But if you've got a sales report, as a matter of fact, George was asking me, I forgot, thank you for reminding me, George. George gave me a sales report this morning. Is this familiar to everybody? Has everybody seen one of these before? And I don't mean that because you haven't sold anything, because a lot of you are selling stuff and not filling out your sales reports, okay? Please fill these out. You can throw them on my desk, you can give them to Anna. But honestly, I think, who was I talking to last night? Where's Teresa? I was talking to Teresa. I love Teresa because Teresa has a piece of paper, she needs to get it signed, she wants to get it sent off, she wants to put it in the file, and she doesn't want to fool around. She doesn't want to wait 3 days for something to get done, okay? If you have and our example yesterday was a commission instruction. If you've got something like that, if I'm available, come grab me. It takes 10 seconds to sign them. Look at it, sign them, I'll hand it back to you, do your thing, okay? If I'm not available, you can get them to Anna. If Anna's not available, I haven't even told this, you can get them to Drew, okay? So if you've got something that needs that, who's laughing? Drew has a license. Drew is a capable designee. He certainly can.
Tell me and I tell them I can't sign them.
Okay, well you can sign them now. Now again, that's the basic stuff. I need a commission instruction signed really fast. Somebody had something that was blowing up. I don't remember what it was. Was it Diane? You had something going on that we needed to sign right away when I was in New Orleans?
I do.
Oh, Rose had something going on. Okay, we'll take care of that sort of stuff. So, but basically, if you need anything, let me know. And I was telling Teresa last night, believe it or not, guys, oh, Lance is too busy. I actually like this. I've been spending the last 6 years doing emails to asset managers. You know, the human element of the real estate business for me has been lost in the last 6 years. Not so fun. I actually like talking about tenants who are being difficult on a short sale, taking 5 or 10 minutes going through that. And Teresa and I yesterday were talking, I don't know what the heck we were talking about, but just a transaction that's just challenging and needed some help. And you know what, I gotta tell you, that's a lot more fun for me than replying back on occupancy status on an REO property in the type of. So, anyway, I like it, so take advantage of it. Oh, thank you, Shelley. Look at Shelley's over there with her cue cards. I should have put you behind Brian so you could have get the whole way through. We are hosting the Moreno Valley Caravan. And again, that's another thing that we'll end up putting on our calendar and start sending out regular emails. Who's attended the Moreno Valley Caravan in the last year? A few of you. Well, anyway, we're hosting for the rest of this month. We've had 2 meetings here this month. We've got one tomorrow, 8:30. To be honest with you, our office attendance has been pretty weak. It would be nice to show a little bit more support for the caravan. Having said that, who goes to the it's not even a caravan anymore. What do they even call it? Moreno Valley. What is it? Well, who goes to the MLS meeting when it's not in this office?
It just came. It was a cycle, so yeah.
Okay.
It was.
But you've gone to one of the other.
Yeah, it was
offices?
at Premier Living, and then Beechwood, and then Keller Williams, and they just circulate.
No, I understand that, but have you gone to the other when they're in those other offices?
Yes.
You have gone. Okay, so that's 1. Tom's 2. Okay. I just do it all of them. I will tell you, for those of you, well, there's no value, I'm poo-pooing it. I disagree. Some of those meetings can be a little dry. You kind of see some of the same people there over and over and over. I was gonna say if you're a new agent, I will rephrase that. If you are an agent in this business who does not have anything scheduled on Thursday morning between 8:30 and 9:30, I would suggest you go to that meeting. There's actually some pretty darn good information out there. They're doing a lot of educational stuff, which is pretty valuable. And you might actually meet somebody who's you're gonna do business with and make a couple dollars with, okay? This is all about relationships, guys. This business is all about relationships. I went to every, matter of fact, when back in the day, so I'm pointing to Shelley specifically, and I know there's probably leaving a few people out. I know Diane was active in that. I went to every single one of those things for probably 12 years in a row. And, priorities changed, the tour kind of changed. But anyway, we are hosting it for tomorrow and for, basically for the rest of the month, which I think is just 2 more this month. 8:30 in this building. So, I'd love you to be there. Any more
Are there any
questions?
speakers tomorrow?
Yeah, actually, I think it's the city manager. I think the Marina Valley city manager is coming, and then Marshall Scott's got somebody else, I think, for the following week. Another political hack of sorts. Can't remember who it is. So yeah, there'll be speakers for the next 2 weeks.